circus where the cowgirls fill the room with their big balloons. The baby was pitching with their face. Yeah, dinos and pooh bears and lions, pink and blue there. He couldn't lose there.
I was lucky, man. God blessed me, you know. I was blessed by God.
I am John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. It's been 2 weeks. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I videoed. Record review and customer system photos. So record review, customer system photos. You know what? I think I'm going to put the... I think I will have... I am going to put the record that I'm going to play ahead of this. So I'm talking to myself in the future. I'll be right back. There's a cat scratching at the door. That was Wilbur. The record, which you will have already heard at this point, is Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell, Mingus, it's my favorite Joni album. Mingus is referring to Charles Mingus, and that is a painting of him. Charles Mingus died of ALS sometime towards the end of the 70s. I believe that's a painting by Joni of... I should know that. Back cover. Charlie down in Mexico. Yeah, these are all paintings by Joni Mitchell. There's a painting of Charles as well, called Muggin. This album is kind of a trip. Musically, I love it. The way it came about is very unusual. So, Joni Mitchell, I talked about this a little bit in my video about the revised Rolling Stones most important 100 albums or whatever that was, and how it went from having like no women in the top 20 or something like that to having a bunch of Joni very high up in those rankings, and that was a corrected injustice. Joni Mitchell is far more important than she is given credit for in the development of American music from the 60s through the 80s, I would say. Incredibly influential, brilliant, sort of a genius and extremely unconventional musician and composer, writer, songwriter, and was really not recognized by a lot of the musicologists and critics of her time, of the time. However, she was absolutely recognized by legendary jazz musicians. She was often quoted as a favorite by Prince. There have been tons and tons of Joni Mitchell tribute albums, cover albums. But what really makes this impressive is that in the time, she was admired and recognized by the top jazz musicians of the time. So this album came about. Let me back up a little bit. This album came about when Charles Mingus, who at this point was so stricken with ALS that he could no longer play and was having trouble even notating and writing music. He reached out to Joni through her people, who blocked access to her from Charles Mingus. Didn't, for whatever reason, but he was persistent. Charles Mingus was notoriously persistent. He could be very abrasive. He was very, very intense. He was a very important composer. He was a bass player, band leader. Just to fill in a little bit of background here, had been incredibly influential and had played. He came up, I think, in Ellington's band, but became a great band leader and composer in his own right. And at this point in the 70s was in decline, physically was in decline, but was still on fire. He absolutely still had ideas. And the reason he reached out to Joni Mitchell was that he felt that she had balls, because the previous album of Joni's, so she had put out a couple of albums that were really moving away from her folk rock roots. From the first almost 10 records she put out, she had started to move away from these sort of folk rock records, and she had a very, very close partnership with the incredible bass player Jaco Pastorius, a really interesting symbiotic artistic relationship through Hejira, and which was a couple of albums before this. But the album right before this, on the cover, Joni Mitchell is in blackface. That, quite understandably, caused quite a stir. Artists who were on that and who were collaborating with her on that record, including Chaka Khan, said that she believed that the use of blackface worked and that Joni absolutely didn't mean it in any sort of a racist way. Chaka Khan greatly admired Joni as well. But Mingus just thought it took incredible balls and wanted to work with her, based on also her back catalog. So reached out. He had composed 6 songs that he wanted to push into finished pieces with Joni for a record, a collaborative record. He was very close to the end. He actually passed away in 1979, which it says on the back of this record, in memory of Charles Mingus, 1922 to 1979. 4 of those were developed into songs. Another one of probably his most famous composition, Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, is on here in a Joni arrangement with Joni Mitchell lyrics, which works really beautifully well. And then Joni composed 2 more pieces to be put on here. He passed away as this record was going to press. I believe it came out after he passed. Again, it's my favorite Joni record. It's amazing. It is filled with the greats of jazz in that time. So So Joni, before being approached by Charles Mingus, Joni was a huge admirer of jazz, but felt it was unattainable. It was out of her reach. So when this started to become a thing that she wanted to do, she got a bunch of people. So in those pre-sessions, none of the people who are recorded on this record, but in those pre-sessions, she had Eddie Gomez, John Guerin, Phil Woods, Jerry Mulligan, great drummer Tony Williams, Danny Richmond, John McLaughlin on guitar, Jan Hammer, Moog, Stanley Clark on bass. So these were people that she was kind of going through and working out arrangements and things like that. And then the people who actually make it on the record are equally legendary. So Joni is on guitar on all of these, the acoustic guitar. Jaco Pastorius comes back and works very closely with her and does some of the horn arrangements. I think the horn arrangements on the song I'm going to play. Wayne Shorter on sax. Peter Erskine, a great drummer. So Jaco, Wayne Shorter, and Herbie Hancock all worked together in Weather Report. Legendary musicians. Don Elias on congas. Emil Richards percussion. And she credits Wolves. I think there are some wild recordings of Wolves that show up on this as well. It's an amazing record. Great playing. It also sounds fantastic. I don't know if it's highly worth a listen. I know it doesn't get nearly as much publicity as Blue and records like that, but it is my favorite Joni record. So let's move on to some viewer system photos. What do we got? Oh, first one. This is old school. This is a shot. Those are original Gibbon 8s. Speaking of blackface, they had black fronts, black baffles. These are original Gibbon 8s with, I believe that is a Rega, maybe a P25, or maybe the one after with the metal frame around it. That is a Bellari tube phono section, and that is a beautiful little Lieben CS300 integrated amp. That's the smallest of the integrated amps. And a lovely little Gibbon there, sitting atop one of his namesake speakers. Oh, here's more Gibbons. These are Gibbon 88s. This is a much later. This is a couple of models after the original Gibbon 8. Gibbon 88s in a system with a tube amp there on the bottom. I'm not sure what amp that is. I believe that turntable looks to me to be like a VPI TNT, maybe. I see a room lens peeking out there just on the left. Little Gibbon 88 system. These were discontinued some time ago. Beautiful system. Here's a pair of speakers. This is a bar in California. That is a custom pair of 093s with front ports. They were custom designed to mount up there above the bar, really close to the rear wall. So we put the ports on the front. I'm not sure what those are being driven by, but it's a very cool vinyl bar. They've got several systems hooked up in this bar, and I have yet to be out there. I would love to go. I will need to get out there at some point. Oh wow, this is a lot of Gibbons this time. This is the Gibbon 88s again, with an Air power amp there, sitting kind of lonely under the media rack. Cool media rack with some Elvis Costello there. James Gang, iRobot I see there. Yeah, cool. And then some CDs above there, and a guitar. That's a compact guitar. I don't know what those are called. It looks like a small-bodied guitar, not a big old Dreadnought style guitar. Nice system. Here's another. Here's another. This is another Gibbon. This is a pair of Gibbon Super 9s. That's a lovely photo with the light coming in at an angle, late afternoon maybe, or early morning. That looks to me like maybe a Conrad Johnson tube amplifier there on the top. It's hard to tell, but that looks like that sort of champagne finish of Conrad Johnson. And some sort of a subwoofer there on an ISO bass. But it's a lovely, very moody little shot. Oh, here's a very distinguished little fella sitting there with getting his butt warm on that nice AccuPhase integrated amp. In front of that pair, there's an O Baby there, and beyond that, there's one of those super skinny bladey whatever. I don't think it's a blade, but it's a Kef with that UniQ metal driver thing. But what a distinguished listening companion there, keeping that AccuPhase amplifier right in its little optimum temperature operating zone. Oh, here's a couple of shots of, this is a pair of O bronzes in a beautiful system. This is a system with, I believe that's a Brinkmann turntable. That is a Nagra Classic amplifier. I'm guessing that is a Nagra DAC and power supply. And then below there is a Shindo. I think that's a Shindo Giscor. So that will be handling the phono section and the preamp duties. And below that is probably a little Nagra streamer, a little compact streamer. Beautiful, beautiful system. You see books, nice bookshelf, plants, art on the walls, excellent records in there. We got Marvin Gaye, Thelonious Monk. Come on, can't go wrong. Miles Davis, of course, Art Blakey. Just, yeah, excellent, excellent. Art Pepper and the rhythm section on display there, must be playing on the turntable. Enjoy that. That's a beautiful looking setup. Here's a pair of custom 096s. That's a pair in a burled walnut with a little bit of sapwood under there. This guy is playing the UHQD or UHLPQRS Hugh Masekela record. Ultra high quality I don't know what the hell it's called, but anyway, that's one of those super high end reprints. Another Shindo preamp, this time with a Shindo Cortez power amp, some sort of a streamer DAC thing. I think that's Hi-Fi Rose. I'm not sure what that other thing is next to it, but that is a Thorins TD124. Very nice, lovely box furniture rack there. Very cool system, nice, compact, excellent system. Here's another little listening dude. Here's another pair of 096s. That listening buddy with the terrifying glowing eyes is enjoying his place on the Clash London Calling, preventing his little cat butt from hitting the rug. You know, can't blame him for that. Yeah, bunch of vinyl there, a bunch of books. Love it, love it. And then here's another view to get a better view of the system. A couple of REL subs there. I believe that is a modern Denon turntable. And I do not recognize the rest of the gear. Oh, no, that's a Manley phono section. You know, above some sort of a integrated amp or preamp and power amp. The power amp has a couple of, I assume that's a power amp with some meters on it. Not sure what that is, but that's a great looking system. That's a cool room. I like that room. Books are good. Books are good. Good for reading. Good for making your room look and sound better. Good for your brains. I think that is the last. Yeah, that's the last picture. Awesome. Keep sending them in. Camera battery just died. Sorry about that. I have no idea where it decided to stop. So I am going to just say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.